Hey there, YouTube. How's it going? We're going to go live on Instagram too today. Give me 1 second. All right. Hi, whoever joined on. Thanks for being here. Okay, just setting up the camera situation for Instagram real fast. If you're able to type on the computer. Hi, Instagram. How's it going? We're going live tonight with a little flow for goal getters. Today I did a session. Hi, how are you? I did a session with Lululemon. Maybe some of you know, I work for them part-time, just 1 day or 2 days a week. And they're an amazing company to work for and so supportive and really just focus on a lot of personal development. So that's what I was working on a little bit today. And it just got me thinking about how I want to show up in this world, what gifts I have and what skills I have to contribute to my community and to the planet. And it's a lot of big thoughts, but it all comes down just to how you show up. And a lot of us that practice yoga always say the way you show up on your mat or the way you do one thing is how you do everything. So I just want to be here, be present, and really just roll with the breath and feel into our bodies today, and see what happens. Because that's also something I've been trying to work on is at least once you set your goal, you work towards it diligently, but also just letting go of any kind of expectation you have on yourself. The pressure that we put on ourselves is sometimes so great, it leads to disappointment and frustration, and that's not what we want. So we want to be present. I want to be present with you, and I'm so happy you're here. We're going to get started, but first things first, if you have a Spotify, I created a playlist for you guys. This one will be going to Flow 30. So for those that are following on YouTube, you could always follow along later. I'm going to post that here, and we will get started. Okay, so we're going to start on our backs today, and I just want you guys to have your blocks handy. Yay. 2 blocks should do it. Just have a nut by your sides. Go ahead and lie all the way down your back, or use your blocks underneath your knees if that helps you feel more supported for your low back. I don't have my lovely assistant Robin here today, so you just get me. Take a deep breath in and an open mouth exhale. Take one more deep breath. Exhale and let it all go. Now I have my hands, one on the belly, one on the heart. And you can do the same, or you can put your hands on top of your hips or down by your side, totally up to you, but close your eyes and tune into your breath. Notice how it hits you at the nose, travels down into your lungs, into every little portion of your lungs, from the bottom all the way up to the top at the apex. Notice how your ribs just lower and your belly softens down when you breathe out. And then I want you to notice the tiny pauses right in between each one. You take a breath in, you pause, let it go, and you pause. If your mind gets sidetracked throughout your practice, one really great way to come back and be present is to focus on this breath. Let it draw your attention inward all the way down to your toes, back up your legs, through your torso, down your arms, and all the way up through the crown of your head. Stay for just one more moment to set an intention for yourself. Less than a goal or different than a goal, but something to guide you. Maybe it's a word or a phrase, or maybe it is just to see what happens, to set your goal and then allow. Once you have that in mind, take one more deep breath here. Exhale out of your mouth. Start to bend your knees. Walk your feet in right behind your glutes. I want you to feel your pelvis. So put your hands in a little triangle. Place your hands on top of your pelvis and do a little rocking, almost like a cat-cow just initiated in your pelvis, lifting up through your pubic bone and then pointing down through your tailbone and feeling the arch in your spine. Once you find a lengthened spine, right, where your low back has a tiny tunnel and your sacrum feels glued in, grab onto your right thigh or knee and shoot your left leg straight out. Pull your knee in towards your chest. Notice if your low back starts to change. Can you keep that neutral so you really isolate your stretch into the hip socket itself? Take a couple of circles rolling out your entire thigh. You can make that big or small, and then reverse those circles out the other way. Come back to a neutral, and then pull your knee back in right over your right ribs, or if it feels better to go wider, you can go wider. And keep a little weight into your left hip, nice and long on both ends of your waist. Reach your right arm in for your inner arch, or reach for your outer arch. Left hand can stay on top of your hip. Kick your right heel high to the sky. So this is more like a lizard lunge, but on your back. See if you can keep your shoulder blades down, find a long neck. Kick your heel up and further away without straightening your knee all the way. So you feel this on the back of your thigh, maybe even on the front of your thigh, inner thigh. Stay for one more breath. Nice. Release your right hand, right grip. Take your knee into your left hand and just draw your thigh all the way across without letting your whole hip come off the ground. See if you can pull it up towards your left shoulder in this tiny diagonal, and you can keep your knee bent. You're looking for a gentle opening in the back of your hip. And just take two right here. Nice long waist. Last one. Then you can release your right leg down. Try plugging in your left knee up towards your left shoulder. Straighten out your right leg. Keep pulling your knee wide, or take some generous circles, widening it out as big as you'd like, or keeping it tight and tiny. Reverse your circles once you've gone a couple of rounds. And then feel the sensation of just your glute stretch, right? When you keep your pelvis neutral, your low back is neutral, you're not compensating for the tightness anywhere else but in your hip. What sensations do you feel there? Maybe you don't feel tight at all. Maybe you feel compression on the top of your hip. You can loosen your grip up if you need to, or widen out your knee. And keep your spine the way it is. Reach your left hand through for your inner arch or the outer if you can reach it. You can also just hold onto the back of your thigh as you kick your heel up towards the sky. Right hand grounds your right hip down, just to give yourself that reminder. Soften your shoulders, relax your face. Breathe into your hip, your thighs. Two more. Last one. Go ahead and release the grip. And just take your knee into your right hand, drag it across your body some. So keep your left hip creased down, reaching for your right heel. So this is not even a huge crossover, but it is just coming over. Maybe it lands right over your right hip, your thigh does, or your knee does. So you get this stretch into the backside. Just take 2 full rounds. Expansive and intentional. Stay for 1 more. And then you can release your grip. Hold on to both of your knees. Give yourself a rock forward and back along your spine. Let your toes reach back behind you if that feels good for your low back and your hamstrings. Try to find a balance, a little teeter-tottering right on top of your sacrum. You can let your toes land if you need to. Pull your heart up, squeeze your thighs together, and you can use your arms even to give your spine that lift. So instead of finding that C curve that we sometimes do in Pilates classes, right, or even in core exercise, we want to try to find more of a long spine here. Lean back so your hip flexors start to open up. Maybe you hold on to your thighs to find support. Then lift up your right toes, followed by your left. Again, hug in towards your center. If you want more work, you can reach your hands out all the way by your shins. Keep your heart up. Take a breath in and a breath out. 1 more inhale, hands to your heart. Good. Exhale, let your toes come down. Stay with me. Inhale, heart lifts even more. Exhale, turn all the way to the right. So try to spin on this even axis. Hug your knees in together. Left hip pulls back. 1 more breath. And inhale and come back to center. Find your long spine. Exhale, twist to your left. Again, just keeping your forearms parallel. Try not to let them collapse in or let your heart sink back. 1 more breath. Cool. 1 more time. Inhale, come back to center. Maybe this time you float your toes. Exhale, twist to your right. You can even reach your arms out if you like. 1 more breath. Yeah, we're going slow. Inhale, come back to your center. Heart up. Exhale, twist to your left. Feel your belly button draw in towards your spine. Just a nice big cinching in your waist. 1 more. Inhale and come back to center. Exhale, let your feet land. You can put your hands all the way back behind you. Do a tick-tocking of your knees left and right. Get out of your hip flexors. And then spin all the way into a tabletop shape. So come onto all fours, shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Tuck your toes so you get some stretch in your feet. And then let's look at the hands. Can you really fan out as much as you can? Find as much distance as you can from your pinky nail to your thumbnail. And take a breath in, open up through your belly. That should feel pretty good after doing some boat pose. Exhale, round your spine. Feel it all come up towards the ceiling. Inhale, shoulder blades back as your tailbone lifts. Exhale and round. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale, push the ground away, chin in towards your chest. Inhale and come back to a neutral spine and walk your hands forward just with that same amount of openness in your palms. Curl the toes under and then breathe in, lift your knees just about an inch. Shift your weight forward so that your shoulders are right over your wrists again and your knees are just a little bit further back behind your hips. You should start to feel your thighs start to turn on. Find that long waistline again. Chin off your chest, shoulder blades back, deep breath. Exhale, lift up your hips. Find your first down dog of this practice. And then bend your knees 1 at a time. Pedal out and go slow, working into your back body. Maybe you lift both heels up, tip them over to the left, stretch out your right side. Inhale to lift the heels back up through the center. Exhale and tip them over to the right so you stretch out through your left side body. And take a breath in. Come back to center and just find some stillness. Really integrate yourself into this posture, starting with your hands. Feel the length of your arms. Let your heart sink back in between your shoulders. And let your shoulder blades click down your back. I have to start with a bend in my knees because my hamstrings feel a little tight today, but that will help you too. If you have that sensation on your thighs, tilt your tailbone up a little bit higher, let your heels disappear behind your toes, and keep squeezing your quads energetically, lifting your kneecaps. One more breath. Inhale and lift your heels high. Keep your legs strong, your belly strong as you float forward to a high plank. Shoulders back over your wrists. You can keep your knees lifted or touch them down. Take a breath in as you gather up your belly strength, chin off your chest. Exhale, bend your elbows back towards your feet and hug your elbows in towards your ribs. Come all the way down. Untuck your feet, let them lay flat and anchor them in really strong. Keep your kneecaps lifted up. Take a breath in, shine up through your crown, your heart. You can use your hands to help you push. Exhale, release. One more time, breathe in, lift yourself up for a baby cobra. Maybe this time you fly your hands or not. Exhale to release. And then bring your hands to your low ribs. Really energize your lats, right? That's the muscle that holds your elbows in tight together. Deep breath in, push yourself up. And then see if you can pinch your shoulder blades together. Push down into the ground. Find your full upward facing dog or full cobra. You can hover your thighs for that upward dog. Take your chin off your chest. Breathe in, open up through your throat. Exhale, pike up your hips using your core, that really strong sense of self. Inhale and lift your heels up. Gaze forward at your thumbs. Exhale to bend your knees and walk or hop all the way up behind your wrists. Use your blocks if you're feeling a little tender today. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale and fold yourself down. Take one more just like that. If you don't use blocks, put your hands to your thighs. Find some real length in your spine. A little soft bend at your knees so that your knees don't just lock out and you push your hips back. Okay, breathe out, fold forward. I like to grab onto my elbows. You can try the same to find more relaxation here for your upper back body, lower back body. You can shake your head out. Moving slower, moving a little faster even. That feels right for your body, for your mind, for your breath. And then come back to the center. Release your hands down to the ground. Keep your feet at hip width distance apart for now. Bend into your knees, roll up through your spine, stack it all the way up, letting your head be the last thing. Take a breath in, reach all the way up overhead. Find your length in your waist. Exhale, hands in towards your heart space. Close your eyes. Channel in your breath, coming to stand and finding your balance without seeing, right? Without the certainty of the vision in front of you. Right? You can feel your energy, your breath from the inside out. Call on your intention. And then we'll flow a little bit. Take a breath in, open up your eyes, reach your hands high to the sky. Exhale, hinge yourself in half, fold down. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Energize your back body, shift some weight into your toes. Exhale, melt your spine forward. Inhale, push through your feet, rise all the way up, reach up. Pause right there. Exhale, drop your right hand down your thigh. Reach up and out through your left waistline. You can push your hips over to the left if that feels okay, but try to find some balance in between both of your feet. Use your core. Inhale, come back up through the center. Both arms reach up. Exhale, left arm comes down. Reach up and out of your right waist. Stay for a breath and to relax your shoulders. Exhale to deepen just a little bit more, pushing your hips if that feels okay. Inhale, rise all the way back up through the center. Exhale, fold yourself in half. Inhale, fly it up, halfway lift. Exhale to melt. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Reach your hands high. Exhale, hands in towards your heart space. Sink down into your chair pose. So with your feet apart, your knees should be apart. Weight is still back into your heels. Your core is engaged as well as your glutes and your upper back body to keep your spine aligned, just like you did when you were on the floor, when you were balancing for your bow pose. Take a breath in. Exhale and just lightly tap your left elbow towards your right thigh. Notice if your left knee just came out way in front of you, can you just pull it back and find that levelness in your sacrum, in your pelvis. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist it the other way. Right elbow touches your left thigh. Shoulder blades down. Inhale right here. Exhale, just to twist a little bit more. Inhale, come back to center. Stay low as you breathe out. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Reach high. Exhale, dive yourself down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Let your palms land right underneath your shoulders as you step back to your high plank as you breathe in. Exhale, knees can come down if you need to. Bend your elbows about halfway. And then inhale, flip up to the tops of your feet or your thighs. Shine your heart high. Exhale, pike your hips back for downward facing dog. Take a breath, take a moment. Fine tune yourself. Checking in every step of the way, every breath of the way. Okay, walk your feet in together and see how this feels for you. Take a breath in and lift your right leg long back behind you. When you look down, can you see your toes pointing down? Lift up through your inner thigh, right knee and left knee as strong as possible. Press up through your hands, deep breath in. Exhale, bend your knee in towards your chest. Can you step your right foot through right by your right thumb and lower your left knee down? So when you come onto your hands, have them both on the inside of your right foot. You could always use blocks just to bring the ground a little higher to you, but you want to sink down low enough where your knee is right over your ankle and you're kind of feeling that same stretch that you did when you were on your back, but just a different variation or different orientation. Okay, sink down as much as you can, leading with your pubic bone. Okay, so we want to feel left hip flexor, back of the right hip, or maybe right around this ring. That's like the sensation of the joint getting stretched out. Collect your breath in. You can let your back toes lay flat if that feels better for your knee. It is a little bit more challenging on the balance, so be mindful. Take one more. Okay. And start to walk yourself up higher if you're lowered down at all. And walk your right foot in alignment with your right hip. I like to curl my back toes under for more balance. Take a breath in. Come all the way up to this low lunge with arms overhead. Take a deep breath in as you lift up your chest. Envision that goal that you have, or even just your intention for tonight. And exhale, pull your elbows wide so you're open to it. And then release your hands all the way down as you just accept what happens. Inhale, reach all the way back up. Exhale, pull your elbows wide, push your pelvis forward, let your hands drop by your sides. Last time, inhale to reach up. Exhale, melt your elbows, let your hands fall. And one more deep breath in, gather up your belly. Exhale and plant your hands down. Shift your hips back, straighten out your right leg. Pull your toes up towards your face. I like to shift to the highest part of the blocks. And deep breath in, heart faces up. Exhale, now melt your spine down. We'll do that 2 more times. Breathe in to lift. Exhale, melt. Last one, breathe in. Exhale, take it all the way down. Add a soft bend to your right knee if you're feeling pulling right at your tendons. Stretch out your breath. Find some grace for your right hamstring. Take one more here. And breathe in and lift up into your heart. Then back into your right knee. You can use blocks or just stay really light on your hands. Curl your left toes under, lift your back knee up. Plant your left hand down right underneath your left shoulder as soon as you turn your heart over to the right. Reach your right hand high to the sky. And try to go as open as you can. Take a breath in. And when you breathe out, turn yourself down. Reach your right hand underneath your thigh, tap your chest. Inhale, open it back up to your twist. Legs are really strong. Exhale, right hand taps your left shoulder. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale to tap. And take a breath in as you reach all the way up. Exhale, plant your hands down. Okay. And then you maybe use your blocks or maybe you don't. Take a big step up with your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Push through your feet. Inhale, reverse it all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands in towards your heart space. Find your neutral spine in Tadasana and then take your hands to your hips. Okay, slide your right foot back 3 feet or so. Your toes can point out to the right, but this time I want your belly button and your chest to stay pointing towards the top of your mat. Take a breath in as you lift up your heart. Pull your shoulder blades back behind you. Exhale, fold yourself down over your left thigh. You can use your blocks here for pyramid. Push out into the outer right edge of your foot. When you look back at your right foot, see if you can make a little arch through the inner arch of your foot. Check in with your sacrum. You can use your hand there to see if your pelvis is neutral. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Soft bend to your knees if you need to. Last one. Add a soft bend to your left knee and take both hands to your hips. Inhale and rise all the way up through your spine. When you breathe out, try to push your weight forward into your left foot. So your right toes can stay really light on the back, or you can start to shift your weight forward all the way over into your left. Okay, find that lift through your inner right thigh, just like you did in your 3-legged dog. Hands can stay at your hips. Ooh, balance. Or you can keep your hands at your heart or reach them all the way forward for your warrior 3. Hold it right there. Find that length through your spine. Try to level out your hips again. Then take a breath in. Rise all the way up to stand. Go slow. Can you draw your right knee in and through with you? Find your Tadasana again, right? Both ends of your waist really long. Stand proud. Hold on to your knee if you can. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, keep your knee up there. Reach high. Exhale, let it all land back down. Good. Close your eyes. Check in and see what you feel. What resonates in your body? Can you feel your foot? Can you feel your hamstrings kick in? If your thumbs are resting on your sternum, can you feel your heart? If it's racing, that's okay. Know that you have complete control over your breath, over your heart rate by coming back to your breath. So the more you draw out your exhale, the more you can slow down your heart, right? Find some steady ground to walk on. Okay, take a breath in, reach high up overhead. Exhale, flow yourself down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and plant your hands down again. Inhale, step it to your plank. Exhale, lower down just halfway. Shoulder blades back, elbows hugged in. Inhale, lift up towards the sky with your heart. Exhale, float your hips back. Downward facing dog. Take one bonus breath. And once you settle in, bring your toes together to touch. Inhale, reach your left leg high behind you. See your heel lift so high, really reaching for the sky. Toes down, inner thigh lifted. You're not sinking into your right hip, but you're pushing just as hard into your right leg. Deep breath in as you push down through your hands. Exhale, curl your knee all the way in and through. Land your foot lightly behind your left wrist as best you can. And lower your right knee down to the ground. Both hands can be on the inside again on top of blocks if that feels right for you. You can widen out as much as you need. You can even point your toes out if that feels better. But see if you can keep your heart lifted, chest up. You're leading with the bottom of your pelvis, so you really get to stretch out through your right hip flexors. Maybe even your belly, your core, you can feel that. Last one. And if you're lowered down, start to walk yourself up. Heel toe your left foot in alignment with your left hip. And stay sunken in with a little bit of buoyancy in your hips. Push down through your left heel. Inhale, reach all the way up. And again, just lift up through your chest. Notice if your ribs start to flare open. So you can keep a little gathering in of your core, but think more of a chest expander here. Okay, deep breath in, energize your fingertips. Exhale, pull your elbows wide like you're grabbing for your goals, and then relax them down. So you can rest after you get your goals, right? Inhale, reach high. Exhale, pull your elbows wide as you work your back, and then relax your arms. One more time. Inhale to reach. Exhale, take it in, and all the way down. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands can come to your blocks. Shift your hips back, straighten out your left leg. Toes will pull all the way up. If you can keep a straight knee, that's great. If you need a soft bend, that's great too. Inhale, heart up. Exhale, melt your spine. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift up one vertebrae at a time. Can you really articulate that? Exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Now stay down here. Close your eyes if you need to. Go back in. Feel. Last one. And start to lift your heart up a bit. Move back into your lunge. Plant your left foot down, left knee bends, so your knee's right over your ankle. With your right toes curled under, power up your right thigh. So if your knee is soft here, I want you to give it a little pat and open up through the back end of your knee. Plant your right hand down underneath your shoulder. Again, find the openness in your palm. Inhale, left arm reaches for the sky. Open up your heart as much as you can. Lean back. Keep your knee over your ankle though. Exhale and draw yourself under and just tap your heart. Inhale, open back up. Wide wingspan. Exhale, tap your shoulder, your chest. One more time. Inhale. Exhale to tap. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, plant your hands down. Use blocks or not. Bend into your back knee. Take a big step up towards the top of your mat. Level out your feet at hip width distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push through your feet. Rise all the way up with your hands swept out. Exhale, hands in towards your heart space. Take your hands to your hips when you're ready. This time we're going to slide the left foot back about 3 feet or so. And when you look down, you want to have your feet wide enough that your hips can really point in the same direction. So your ASIS are looking at the same point. Okay, deep breath in, shoulder blades back, squeeze your thighs. Exhale, fold down. Take your time. Just like you did in your other hamstring stretch, you can melt your spine all the way down. Let your head be included in that relaxation here. Push some energy into your back left foot. Relax your toes. See if you can let gravity take control. And just see what happens when you let your breath run the show. Last one. Push up into your hands to give yourself some room. Bend into your right knee. Take your hands to your hips. Inhale, push through your heel, rise all the way up. You should feel that in your right glute. You're going to use that same energy, right, to shift your weight maybe a little bit all the way forward onto your left foot. Stay light on your left toes. Kick out through your heel maybe. And tip yourself forward into a warrior 3 variation. So you can have your hands at your hips to help give you that sensation of squaring down. Keep lifting up through your inner thigh like you did with your 3-legged dog. Reach your arms forward, biceps by your ears. Keep stretching, reaching for that goal, that length, your intention. Deep breath. Good power through your right leg. Inhale, draw your left knee all the way through. You can give it a little catch. Okay, inhale, push down through your right leg. Find your length in your spine. Shoulder blades down. Inhale, release your grip. Keep your knee floating. Exhale, plant your foot down, hands at your heart space. Take a breath. Notice what you feel. Maybe it's a balance of left and right, of strength and ease, of goal setting, and just allowing. We'll try for one more balanced posture, see what happens. Hands will come down by your sides. If you like blocks for like a standing figure 4, you're more than welcome to set yourself up beforehand. I like them together, or you can separate them for your hands, but sometimes it's nice to have it in the front. Okay, so we're gonna try standing on the left foot first. Pull up your right knee up towards your thigh, if that helps you set in with your hip. You're just gonna work its way out to the side, give it a little cross, your ankle over your left thigh. Sink back into your chair pose as much as you can. And notice if your right sideways starts to crunch up. Can you pull down on your right hip, sink down a little deeper, pull your right toes back towards your knee, take a breath in, and a breath out, sink down so you get this stretch in your outer glute. Okay, I lied, I like them separated. But if you want to practice your balance, your hands can come again towards your heart. You can try your twist again, right elbow towards the inner right foot. That'll get you ready for grasshopper. One more breath. Inhale, push through your left foot. Lift up your chest first. Fly up your right knee. Exhale and plant it down. One more side. Let's see what happens. Inhale, lift up your left knee. Pull it out wide just to give your hip that sensation of external rotation. And then see if you can cross your ankle on top of your thigh. Sink all the way down. Keep your waistline long and neutral. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. That's the mode. Inhale, hands can come to your heart. Exhale, and you can touch your left elbow on the inside of your left foot. Right, finding your long spine. Inhale right here. Inhale to unwind. And then push through your foot. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Maybe a big reach this time. Exhale, hands can come to your knee. Give it one more push, and then let it all go. Shift your weight left and right. Shuffle your feet if you need to. Move your blocks out of your way. Stand with your toes together. Deep breath in, reach high. Exhale, hands in through your heart space with a soft bend to your knees, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and plant your hands down light like little tents. Bend your knees, lift up your heels, scoot your hips down as close towards your heels as you can. Round your spine, chin in towards your chest. You could also just let your heels hang heavy and reach forward. You could give yourself some extra pressure if that feels okay for your neck. Chin all the way in. Maybe your heels land, maybe they don't, but see if you can come softly down onto your glutes. Okay, feet will be out in front of you. Plant the soles of your feet together. Walk yourself up so that you can sit up tall. You can also sit on a block if that feels better for you. Inhale, pull yourself up high. Exhale, roll your spine down. Let it all go. If your knees are pretty high up there, don't worry about it. You can use your elbows to gently guide them wider. If your knees are pretty close to the ground, but your arms aren't long enough like mine, you could use blocks on the inside of your thighs. Hold on to your big toes and really squeeze your toes together. And then push down into your blocks. That way you get a little bit more assistance. You don't have to work as hard. But wherever you go, you breathe. Last two. One more. Go ahead and release the grip. Stack up your spine. Move blocks out of the way if you need to. Hug your knees in together, feet wide. And do what you did before. Just tick-tocking your knees slowly, getting from big external rotation to a big internal rotation. And then scoot yourself so that you're in the middle of your space. Take a breath in, lift up your chest. Exhale and roll down through your spine one vertebrae at a time. Walk your feet in, super close. Then hold onto your right knee and straighten out your left. Take a breath in as you hug your knee up towards your shoulder again. See how much depth you can get there now. Exhale and let your knee come down and across. You can shift your hips to the right to level out your hips and keep them stacked one over the other. A block can come underneath your right knee. Let your right arm cactus out or take a full T. Keep pushing through your left heel. Stay for a breath in. A melting breath out. One more time. Roll yourself back to the center. Maybe close your eyes since you know what's coming next. Center your hips. Hug both knees in towards your chest. And then straighten out your right leg. Hug your left knee up towards your shoulder. Find your long waist. Deep breath in. Exhale, knee will come down and across. Bump your right hip over to the left to take your spinal twist. Left arm reaches all the way out to the side, or cactuses. Deep breaths. Last one. Roll yourself over onto your back body. And give yourself a centering hip move. Bring your knees in towards your chest. You can circle them out a bit. You can take a happy baby. You can take a bridge, or even float your feet all the way back over your head. Totally up to you. Wherever you land, take one last full breath. And then whenever you're ready, you can lengthen yourself out. Straighten out your arms and your legs, or use the blocks underneath you, right underneath your knees. Settle into your body again, onto your back. Hands by your side or on top of your core, in your heart, on your hips. Let your eyes sink back, tongue relax off the roof of your mouth. Let your lips separate and know that the way you showed up today mattered. And when you're aware of how you show up, you can always change it. But now's the time to let go. You can even let go of your breath, but stay watchful, be the observer, and see what you notice for just 10 rounds of breath. You can stay here as long as you'd like. If you're ready to move with me again, deepen your breath first. Squeeze your toes, squeeze your fingers. Roll out your wrists and your ankles until you can find a full body stretch. Take a breath in. And then bend your knees, roll over onto your side. And just take a pause right there and think of one thing you're grateful for from today. I won't try to bias you at all this time. You can be creative on your own. Once you have that piece of gratitude, carry it up with you into your seat. Sit yourself up tall with your eyes soft, or just start to take in a little bit of light with your gaze down low. And bring your hands into your heart space, finding gratitude for yourself and again for the way you showed up today. Take a breath in with me to close out your practice. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Thank you so much for being here. It's always my pleasure to just serve and give, so I'm really happy to do it. From my heart to yours, namaste. Okay, I'm gonna hang out over here on Instagram for a little bit. Maybe not, but thank you guys for showing up. See you soon.